What's up, guys? Kenny Mac here, and I am chilling out on this hot. I don't know if it's summer day because I feel like they only have two seasons here in on the island of Cabilao, hot and cold. Did I surprise you being out here? My nieces are walking by.
Where's Tita Denise?
Oh, she's at the house. I'm just doing YouTube videos. Hello, ladies. You feeling okay? You okay?
Yes.
Sure. Okay. All right. So those are my nieces coming by, and so earlier today, I think this morning they were going to get water. I think I got a video on getting water here on the island, but they were getting water and had wrecked the scooter twice getting water, and so I'm pretty sure it's been a little traumatic day for her. So I was asking her if she was okay. All right, so today's video, I'm gonna do a talking head video. I don't think I normally do talking head videos, but today I'm gonna do a talking head video. All right, and so I don't know, just kind of talking my truth. I know a lot of people kind of get on, and they talk about, their time in the Philippines and their truth and their perspective and stuff like that. So I thought I'd kind of get in and kind of talk mine. And so when I talk and I kind of give my opinion, I am by no means an expert of the Philippines. I'm not even an expert in the area that I'm on or the island that I'm on. But this is my second time here, and I've been here almost a month, and it's been an amazing experience. So last year when I stayed for a month. This year I'm staying for a month, and I'm with my wife and her family. And so me and my wife, we started our process of getting her to the United States. But any of you guys that know about doing CR1s and all those kind of things, especially post-COVID, you know that it's like a long process. And so supposedly our case should be looked at about August. So we'll see. But until then, I guess, I'll just come back and forth and visit my wife and my family from time to time. All right. So, which kind of brings me to one of my topics. Man, get your passport. If you are a guy and you've never left the United States, get a passport. You'd be glad you did. I think outside of my birth certificate and my Social Security card, my passport is probably the most important document that I have. When you have a passport, it literally opens up the world to you. And, once your mind has been exposed to different things in different places, it's kind of hard to put all that back into a box. And so, you expand and you learn and you grow. And so that's my first thing that I would recommend anybody do is get a passport. And so I guess even with that being said, I'm technically a passport bro because my reason for getting my passport was to come visit my wife. And so we were like LDR, and we were chatting and videoing, while she was working as an OFW in a different country. And so when her contract was close to being up, and so I got my passport because I wanted to meet her. And so I had intention. So I already had somebody here that I knew, and I wasn't coming here to mess around, to date around, to mess over the women or anything like that. My goal was to come here literally to get married because I knew my wife was the one. So that was my goal from the get-go, was to get married. So I had intention. And so it's like one of those things. If you guys are looking to have LDR relationships and meet people in other places, and this goes both ways, try to vet each other as much as possible. Ladies, if you're dating a foreigner and he cannot get a passport, then he is wasting your time. I will say that again, ladies. If he's a foreigner and he cannot get a passport, he is wasting your time. Don't waste your time on somebody that can't get a passport. And then too, and people want to talk about money and women only after money, this and that. On a legit reason, you don't want to be with somebody that can't, help you or sustain you. Or if you're in a relationship, you need to be with somebody that has some type of finance or have position to where they can afford to come visit you and those kind of things. And so I feel like any woman should want to be with somebody that has, the resources to be able to handle and to take care of themselves as an adult. And I think I read somewhere that's why most young ladies prefer older men, because a lot of times by the time they're older, in most cases we tend to have our stuff together a little bit better than say younger guys that are probably like in their 20s or something like that. Um, but yeah, so you need to vet each other as much as possible, because there's people that are run scams, young ladies, like that'll be over here, and they might already have a boyfriend or be married, or they might be chatting multiple people. So even if they are chatting multiple people, they might be trying to find out their options as far as who can actually come see me. Where I might like three different guys, but only one of them has the resources and the means, and he might be the one that that actually makes it to the country. So some of those things are kind of understandable. I feel like in a lot of cases, you know, I feel like I've come across a few people, a few couples in the community as far as like YouTube and Facebook. I feel like a lot of times we're the exception, and that a lot of things go on, a lot of stuff happens, and so there's good people and bad people in the United States. There's good people and there are bad people here. There are good people and good people in the United States, and there are good people and there are bad people here in the Philippines, and so it's like one of those things. You just have to just know what you're dealing with, and it's kind of hard when you aren't like in a whole other countries. But you have to get as much information as possible, because if that person's awful person, has a bad attitude, is alcoholic and abusive, you know, that's not going to change them once that you get to their country or they get to your country. Those same things. So you want to look for red flags for sure. And then, like I said, Filipino women are amazing. And like I said, my experience is limited. I've only been in the country twice, but just from a dating perspective, my experience has been amazing with my wife. But no group of people is a monolith, and so not everybody's the same. So even within every country, there's groups of people that have different cultures and different things that they do, and do differently. And so take that into consideration when you see other people or other foreign couples, or mixed couples that. It's like one of those things. It's like what they do in their part of the country might be different than what they do in this part of the country. What's done in the city is different than what's done in the province. What's done in the province is different than what's done in the island. So you need to know about those things or take those things in consideration. So like, I think it's a young lady that I know, and she's dating a foreigner, but she's scared to bring him to the island because she's concerned that, I don't know if she feels ashamed about where she's from, because the island life is a simple life. These people don't have much in a lot of cases. But she's thinking that he wouldn't be able to handle it. So whenever she visits him, she always visits him in a metropolitan area because she doesn't think she can handle it. And just to be realistic, if my family was to come visit me here, they probably couldn't handle it. So if I was to bring my family to the Philippines, I'd probably have to keep them on resort. But these are things that, I feel like if you're really interested in somebody, you should be willing at least, from time to time to go visit them at their roots, that kind of thing. And so, and just, I want to say, even just coming here, it's like from an age perspective, I wouldn't necessarily recommend the Philippines for young folks. So like in their 20s, or people that aren't ready to settle down. I know there are some more metropolitan and some more built up areas and places here in the country that have nightlife, but I feel like in a lot of cases when you go, when you're just around, there's not a lot of nightlife. And when you see foreigners, a lot of times they will be older and more mature foreigners, because a lot of these guys are at the age where they want a simple life, and they want without the stress and the hassle of like Western culture or the hustle and bustle, or kind of getting off the hamster wheel or getting out of the matrix. So they want something simpler, where if you're looking to party and kick it and meet a lot of people, then like I said, being in Providence or being on the island is probably not for you. And so it's one of those things I recommend that, younger folks, this might not be the place. You might want to go somewhere with a bigger, or probably definitely more of a nightlife scene. So do your research before you come here. Or even as you start to meet people, or how you want to meet people. I don't know how you would meet people here. Like I said, me and my wife, we met by accident. And under normal circumstances, we shouldn't have met. But here we are almost 3 years later, and it's been an amazing experience so far. And so I guess even just from a standpoint of, the Philippines might not be the place for you if you're not a patient person, because a lot of times they don't have the systems or things in place that say we have in the West. So an example, I might be able to pay a bill or take care of situations online within seconds or minutes, where here it might take months. I know for our marriage license, I think it took almost like 2-3 months for us to even get our marriage license back. So just little things like that. So just No, if you're not a patient person, if you're not a patient, I can't even talk today. If you're not a patient person, then this place probably isn't for you. And and so you have to be patient in almost every situation and anything dealing with business. And so it is a developing country, and so they're still developing their infrastructure, whether it be physically or technologically, economically. And so those are things that you have to take into consideration if you wanted to come here. But in my opinion, the Philippines has been an amazing experience. As far as I'm concerned, once my youngest daughter turns 18 and she's 12 at the moment, this is where I'll come. So once she turns 18, I'm out of there, and I'm looking forward and I'm excited about living a simple life and just being in a place that's just I don't know. There's something about this that I love, even though the conveniences that I'm used to having. So like that's another thing. If you're used to having convenience and you're used to having amenities and just being able to get things when you think about it when you want it, a lot of times that might not be the case. Like I can't just get up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning to go get some Krispy Kreme donuts like I used to, when I'm in the States. Which actually has probably helped me out, and I've lost probably a lot of weight because I can't just get the foods and the things that I want when I want them. But if you're a more metropolitan area, of course you have more things available to you than you do in a province and on an island. And so, but yeah, I just want to do a talking head video. I've got some people that I like to follow. Some of my favorite YouTube channels. Like one of them is a guy named Tim K. I love when he kind of talks his truth. And then check out the Riley's Bam, and then Bam and his wife Mercy. They always have like great topics on their YouTube channel. And then my all-time favorite is Becoming Filipino Kulas. I work in an area where there's a lot of affluence. When I'm back in the States, and I come across millionaires and multimillionaires based on a daily basis, and I'm not jealous of any of them or what the things that they have. But the one person, if I said I was envious of, would be Kulas, because I feel like he lives such a cool life and all the exploration and things that he does. But yeah, so with me and my wife's story, this is just the beginning. I think maybe tomorrow I should just tell our story and do a video on just our story. It's a crazy and a complicated story, but I think it's an amazing love story and just the beginning of something really cool. And we're just getting started on our adventure. And so I'm still fairly young. I'm still in my 40s, and my wife is still in her 30s. And so I feel like we got at least another 40, 50 years together, just kind of having fun and living life and adventures. But that's it for today. I think I've kind of talked and rambled enough. Hopefully you guys have stayed to the end of the video. And with that being said, thank you guys for joining us. Like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.